Welcome to the Firebelly Social Show. We're focused on talking to food and beverage brands that are on a mission to make the world better.
Hey everyone, Duncan here with another episode of the Firebelly Social Show where I chat with founders and leaders of mission-driven food and beverage brands. And if you know this crew, you know that they're amazing people on a mission to change the world, make things better, and they're just overflowing with courage. In this special edition of the show, we'll take a look back at some of our favorite conversations from past episodes. It's brought to you by Firebelly Marketing. At Firebelly, we help mission-based food and beverage brands light up their social media marketing. So if you're ready to use social media to create more community, get some retail support and excitement around your food and beverage brand, visit us at firebellymarketing.com to learn more. Now, let's take a look back at parts of some terrific conversations from past episodes.
I mean, so mochi is gluten-free, it's vegan, it's free of all the seven, major allergens, sesame, nuts, soy, dairy. Not by trying to be, it just is. It's just rice and tapioca. My product is made with rice and tapioca and very simple ingredients. And it's true that, the landscape of supermarkets, they haven't changed that much. But the biggest, I think, revolution for me is that I'm sitting next to the other candies. I'm sitting next to the Smart Sweets and the gummy bears and the jelly beans as a valid candy from a different heritage. Right. So I think that's something that I'm incredibly proud of. And, candy, chewy candy has been dominated by European tradition. So gelatin was invented in Germany and pectin in France. And it's great. It's wonderful. But I think it's time to explore other cultures. And you can get chewiness from other ingredients that weren't considered worthy, maybe. And you can explore other flavors that were not included in the range of flavors. You can go beyond the typical strawberries and the, raspberries and the bananas. There's so many lychee, yuzu, ume. There's so many different flavors from across the world. There's horchata. There's, orange blossom, rose petals. There's so much that you can explore. And I think it's not just, the call for diversity and inclusion. It's not just for the minorities. I think more than anything, it makes everybody's life better. I can say that the world is better because people know ramen, or they know karaoke, or they have tacos. It's not just for the Japanese or for the Mexicans. It makes everybody's life better and richer.
So essentially, we're one of the few brands left that actually manufacture ourselves. So that allows us to, really source very specific farms and ranches. So we were certified organic in 2016. And then, we really believe in trying to make an impact on the planet. So we felt like regenerative organic is the way to go. Essentially, I'm not sure how familiar you are with regenerative agriculture or how familiar the consumers are, but, for us, it was a no-brainer because what regeneration does is it returns the land back to its original state, which essentially means, how a lot of the land has been ruined by pesticides and herbicides and over-tilling and not rotating crops and this and that and the other. And, the original moist soil has turned into essentially just kind of dust. So what regeneration does is it brings it back to its normal state, which is better for all of us. It's better for the climate, reduces, carbon emissions, captures carbon. In fact, it's just amazing. So for us, we thought regenerative organic is the way to go. Just regenerative, that means something, but we feel like regenerative and organic is the gold standard. There's definitely some greenwashing already on some labeling and some claims. So we felt like going for the gold is the way to go. We're always trying to achieve the best and make the biggest impact. And that's kind of why we went down the regenerative organic certification.
And what is so interesting is that in Ayurveda, spices are very key. That is the medicine that you use. And what's wonderful and what I learned is that all of these plants develop these compounds as a way of staying alive, right? They have these bad tasting kind of pheromones that they let off. These compounds are there to help the plant survive, and that's their sole purpose for the plant, but then they end up becoming the most magical medicine for us for all of our different bodily systems. So that's where I get really excited, because it's not just flavor. Of course, I know people think spice, they think spicy, which is also not true. It's not all spices are spicy. And then they kind of don't think about all of the practical aspects, like preservation, antifungal, antiviral, antiretroviral. There's so many things that these magical plants do all by themselves that help us preserve our food, help us preserve our health, etc.
This is harsh, but the reality is that there's more emerging brands in the market than there is shelf space for the product. We have 2,000 brands ourselves, but there's thousands more brands that we don't have yet. And in the aggregate, all of those SKUs of emerging brands are trying to find a home, but they're trying to find a home in a zero-sum, limited, finite shelf space environment. So what our mission is to try to be the matchmaker and try to find the right match between retailer and brand, and be honest with the brand, be transparent with the retailer about where those opportunities should be. But it's not driven out of charity. Our mission is to build a sustainable, financially solvent business model for ourselves, for the brands, and for the retailers that's built on differentiation. So when we walk into a retail account, we're not showing every retailer the same products. We're using data along with the market knowledge that we have to curate this box of innovation for this customer in this particular month's meeting. And what's in one retailer's box is completely different than in another retailer's box the next day. And what we're trying to do there is to find the right match of the right products with the right retailers so that everybody is getting to the right place and getting their best chance to succeed. And what it all comes down to at the end of the day is access.
The aha moment came when I was training for a marathon. I am craving ice cream after one of my toughest, most grueling workouts. I am literally dripping sweat after a hot New York day in my local grocery store in their frozen dessert aisle. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I just want one thing and one thing only. I want ice cream. And I'm not a big dessert guy. I don't indulge a ton, but when I want something, I want it and I want it now. So I'm in the ice cream aisle and I'm thinking to myself, well, before I just grab a pint, I want something with nutritional value. Like, I don't want just empty calories. I want something that will, give me something in return. So I am literally pulling off every pint of ice cream off the shelf to see, just out of curiosity, to see which one had the most amount of protein. And I was just blown away at the fact that ice cream has little to no protein. And that just made no sense to me. So I'm like, you know what? Screw ice cream. I'm going to go home. I'm going to eat the dessert that I've been eating during my training. And that was a bowl of cottage cheese with blueberries and honey. And I'm on my couch and I'm just eating this bowl of cottage cheese and I'm just thinking about ice cream the entire time. I'm like, this cottage cheese is not as fun as ice cream. How has nobody cracked the code on high protein ice cream or high protein dessert? And how is there no such thing as frozen cottage cheese? And that was really the aha moment that really set the stage for what Smearcase is today.
Thanks for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.